good night to all our followers. And tonight is a special night, and we have a special person on, Miss Unique. Unique in a way that on this edition of the show, Together We Rise Building Our Nation, I had promised you guys that for the next 21 days, I was gonna step on some corn, you know, meaning was gonna ruffle some feathers. And at the same time, I just wanted to speak truth. And tonight we're going to talk about the cost of migration. We see where we are, you know, and if you're following migration and the immigration status of personnel and what's happening, a lot of people being sent home whether they want to go home, yes or no. And yet still there's a group of people who would love to go home. And I just want to say tonight we're going to break down this in terms of the cost, of migration, meaning not just monetary, but it can cost us in so many ways. Many of us, we came to America to make a better life for ourselves and for our family. But, working in the field of nursing, the health industry, I have seen so much things that's happening, especially to our parents and our grandparents. And part of it is due to what we call love. In the sake of love, we believe we're making our family happy. Anyway, I just want to introduce Miss Unique on the other side, and she's going to talk to us about a particular, I would say, kind of situation that we bring our parents and grandparents in that really hurting the elders, and we don't know it. Miss Unique, welcome to Together We Rise Building Our Nation.
Thank you for having me, Ian.
Well, tonight we'll be unpacking a lot of things. We're just having a conversation, and surrounding that conversation, I realized that this first topic that we're going to talk about, it's hurting not just us, but also our parents and our grandparents. And you had make a very important point, in that, and I'm going to have you discuss it in a few minutes, but I'm just gonna lead people up to what I'm really talking about and then the effect. So, for example, my immigrants, people, we came to the US, and I'm talking about my home country, Jamaica, talking about the Caribbean in particularly. We always asking ourselves we want a better way of life, and we can't wait till we get to foreign or we get a foreign, you know. And what I realized that very quick before we even start to make it, we start hurting ourselves and we don't even know. One thing we're talking to is Unique regarding this one is that we think it's the best thing to bring our family along. And most of us do this before we even start building a foundation here. We'll send for our kids, we send for our parents, and I tell you, we start hurting our parents more than anything else. We take them out of their comfort zone. We take them out of their community where they are basically grounded, had built life for years. And all of a sudden we uproot them and we bring them to the USA. Miss Unique, I want you to talk to the crowd, or the audience in regards to what we are talking about the other day. One big factor that, that's affecting the elders, I say. So I'll give you the platform.
Okay. Um, there is a lot of issue affecting the elders coming from their home to relocating into their family home, especially abroad here. A lot of time we are taking our parents from Jamaica and we bring them here to the US, Canada, wherever we live at. We take them international, trying to give them the opportunity. But in other words, the opportunity, it doesn't really work for them on a long-term surface because one, they are leaving their home that they are accustomed to and they are used to, and they have friends, friendly neighbors who they communicate with. When they get here, they don't have no one to communicate with. They are in the home. The children have to go to work, and of course, they have to stay home, the grandparents. On the other hand is that a lot of time the grandparents now find themselves getting responsibility that they did not sign up for, where they start taking care of the grandchildren. Now, that was not something that they had a communication to say that was going to be a part of it. So them figure, oh, they're going to be with their children, they're going to spend time with the grandchildren. But Ian, today, society of children is not what these grandparents are accustomed to. This is not the generation that they raised. So when they come and they see these grandchildren out of hand, out of control, it's like so horrible situation for them. They don't know how to discipline these kids because they are fearful that they might step on the children toe of talking to their children, which is their grandchildren, a certain way. Of course, they're not going to hit them or do anything, but they become anxious in this environment because they are not comfortable with how they see these children behave and acting. In their mind, they are saying, this could never happen when they were raising their children. And, you know, we don't realize the psychological effect that is happening with our parents in that situation. Now, a lot of these grandparents, in them head, they must say, if I did Jamaica them there, or for them pitney, what kind of slap them that go get, what them that go throw upon them, or whatever. Because you know, Jamaican grandparents raising them children back in them days there. Kids not just go in a kitchen.
I said, Granny, I said, I bust your ass.
Yeah, man, Granny has some, you know, Granny head, Granny, I think, so should have bust the pitney ass. You understand me? I never want to use the word, but Granny has said, these unruly children, a bust ass them need. You understand me? Because them coming at the house, them throw down the clothes, them throw down the food, it's like they're not as clean as how we raise. These children just feel like they have a living housekeeper, which is the parents' responsibility. The parents have become their housekeeper most time. But no, Granny find herself in a situation where she turned housekeeper for these children. So bringing grandma here, grandpa here, and thinking it's a favorable thing, it's a psychological well-being that is not, it's not thought of. We the children have not thought about how it was gonna affect our parents. We see our parents sit in the side, sit in the room and not talking or not saying anything is a lot grandparents is thinking about. Grandparents reach a point that they want to go back. They wish they never came here. Or, you know, some of them, I'm telling you, Ian, some of these grandparents, they were home in Jamaica feeling happy. Them never even think of said them ready for dead. But after them come up here and go through a lot of things where them never anticipate going through, them ready for go. Them said them live them life already. Them ready to go because this another life what them want.
All right, so I'll give you a little minute now. I'm gonna help to unpack some of what you have just said. So, guys, I work in the health industry. I mean, I work as a nurse here in the USA, and I just want to tell you that the things that I have heard from the grandparents are or our parents, which become the grandparents of our kids in the USA, it is alarming to hear what they have to say. These are things that they'll never say to their children, the one who brought them here to the USA. But what I realize is that I have seen a lot of elderlies, meaning parents and grandparents. They are now visiting the hospital more than anything else. And it's not like they're having real sickness, disease factor. It's more of a stress factor. You see grandparents coming in with blood pressure like going through the roof. Parents coming with blood pressure through the roof. And I'm talking about average age from 50 to 75 to 80. Because what happened? We, the young generation, we come to America and we come here for a better life. And in having a better life, this is what we normally do. This is the norm. I'm going to tell you guys, this is the norm of a young man, young lady leaving Jamaica and coming to America. Within the first year or two, first thing them do, guess what? They have to send for me people them at Jamaica. And they want to show up themselves, a lot of us. We want to show up that we're doing well and we want to bring our parents here. Now, we go and we take out a home or a house. Either you rent that house or you take on a mortgage. Sometimes you end up taking on a bigger house than you really need. Because now you think, boy, you bring your parents there, granny there, picking there, you name it. So you take on that responsibility. We not start make life yet, you not reach nowhere yet. And you take on that responsibility of getting that house because you want house your parents for you feast them to come America. So we bring them now in America. When you bring them in America, this is what Lady Unique was talking about now. You bring them into America, but when you realize you have to go work to basically fund that lifestyle, which is the extra room, the big house where you go buy, the car where you go drive, and guess what? You have your parents have to stay with your kids if you have kids here. They have to stay home with the kids and take care of your picking so you can go work. They have to stay home with the kids because you can't afford now to go get somebody to care for that child. Because you really have this bill hanging over your head. So you think, say, granny is good enough. You can just drop the responsibility on granny and granny take care of them picking him. And granny there Jamaica, granny never have to do that. That become an extra burden for granny. And granny mad about it and don't know. But it's when it's when them come in at the hospital and them start unpack. I'll ask my patient, could you tell me is there anything going on, at home that would, cause this stress factor that your blood pressure is going through the roof? Boy, me I tell you, say them picking it there, I can't deal with them. It's like
Yep.
you can't hear the cry. You can't deal with the picking of them. Too much trouble, too much this, too much that. Then the next big part about it is the loneliness. You take your parents and your grandparents from Jamaica or the Caribbean and you bring them here. Normally when them there yard, them can run down the road, go talk to them neighbor, then neighbor come and yard, them hang out, them meet, them greet, then go on a church, a little church service or them something. When them come America, it's a total different thing. If them go out, them probably only thing them probably see out there one lady or one man I walk past with the dog, paying more attention to the dog than they pay to them. They don't have that conversation anymore. And all of a sudden it's loneliness because you're not in the house. All you do, you leave them in the house. So you don't even have to have a child. It's the fact that you leave them in the house and they are alone. And with loneliness, I can tell you it brings on that stress factor again. Because them start think about everything in my yard. And start think about the two-fold them where they have run about there. Them, and start think about them gungo garden, them can, then talk about Mass, Aston, Miss Mary, and
Yeah.
Miss, that they'll go out
Mm-hmm.
and see in the morning. You can't see them people up here. It is a total headache for these people. And I'm telling you, when they come in the hospital, this is where stress starts. I'm going to tell you guys something now. What happened in a hospital setting? Then I'll go back to Miss Unique, who will also give us some more breakdown. So when grandma come into the hospital, grandma came into the hospital continent, meaning grandma able to pee by
Mm-hmm.
herself, knowing she want to go to the bathroom and all of them something there. When grandma come in the hospital, because grandma is over 60, 65, 70, the first thing as healthcare personnel, nurse, CNAs, whatever, them label grandma as high fall risk for grandma old. Age alone put him in that category there. Then the next thing
Mm-hmm.
is grandma a little bit unstable. She not walk as strong as you. So another label upon grandma, grandma is a high fall risk. All of a sudden, grandma have one color code over in bedhead, grandma not even know what that about. So every time that nurse or aide leave the room, they put on what is called a bed alarm. So a bed alarm now go up on grandma because grandma, you stress out grandma yard, grandma from a hospital, then put on a bed alarm for grandma. Grandma get up, figure say, him have a pee, him have to use the bathroom. As soon as grandma turn in the bed, that bell gone off. He start alarm and sound up everybody up at front, everybody down the hallway, make up nice like grandma head. All of a sudden, there's a aide or a nurse, probably busy at the moment, can't help grandma to the bathroom, but all them see is that grandma is a high fall risk. Get back in bed, and then push back grandma foot in a bed if he did a put you over. Because some of them don't have the time to take grandma to the bathroom, because they'll take away from that busy zone in the hospital. I'm telling you about it. I've worked it for years. So now them pa push back grandma. Every step grandma lift up in foot or shuffle too hard. Alarm. And then put back grandma in a bed. No, what happened? Grandma become incontinent. So grandma, grandpa in a hospital are pee on themselves. Not that they want to pee on themselves, but every time them know them get up to go bathroom, somebody will come, either put them back in bed, tell them you can't go to bathroom, you're high fall risk, and they're not taking them there. This happen a lot of the time. Yes, if you have a good nurse or a good CNA, may help, but it happened tonight, it not have to happen tomorrow night. So guess what? Grandma start laying a pee, start pee, because them put on a big diaper on grandma in the hospital. This grandma never used to all of this when him there in him home. And yard, them start label grandma already. And not just that you label him. You put grandma in a pampas because they know how to clean grandma every second. And no, this is even greater stress. So grandma, instead of grandma, they come out in a 1 day or 2 day, grandma in a hospital for a whole week. So these are some of the things, guys, that we bring on to our parents and our grandparents, not even knowing it in the I say, the sake of we love them and we are carrying them to come live closer to it. But really, are they living closer to us? Are they even more distant than if they were in Jamaica? Because you can't stay in the yard and spend no time with grandma. Now you work all day. When you come in from work, you're tired as tired can be. You can't spend a minute with grandma before you turn on TV, you gotta sleep. So these are some of the things that happen. Miss Unique, I don't know if you want to kind of unpack anything that I've said a while ago, but
Yes, I would. I would elaborate a little bit more on that. Um, First thing,
lose you for a second there, Unique. So while Miss Unique may get back her audio, I'm just telling you guys, these are some challenges that we are putting our parents through, our grandparents through, by the fact that we're telling ourselves that, we're doing good and bringing them here. Another thing that this does, it not just hurt grandma, but it is hurting you. Because now, grandma or your mommy have our nice house in a Jamaica, or at least our 1, 2 bedroom that she was comfortable in. Now you take her out, or your grandfather out of that setting, and you bring them here in the sake and the name of love. And guess what? You're hurting them because you have just taken them out of their comfort zone, the place where they are loved by others. You know, we have this if you're there in Jamaica, the community. When you have an elder in the community, everybody wants to see them. Everybody are heal them. Everybody are called to them. Everybody are going to look for them. And they are used to this. They're used to doing their little morning chores in Jamaica, where it's their thing, not for you take care of your bikini or become your helper or whatever in the house. Because most time when you bring them here, this is what we bring them into. We didn't plan it, But when you realize what this country have to offer, you realize that guess what? You automatically put your parents and grandparents to work. You want them done with your picking them, you know? You want them do dishes because you can't even do it. You have to run from one job to another. Because as I just said, you just bring grandma here, or you bring your mommy here, and you have to cater for them. So you have to go make sure say they're eating, they have a place to sleep. That means they have a roof over them head. And sometimes this is extra expense when you could have do it in just one bedroom and you could have comfortable. You can't bring in your parents or picking or whoever you bring come and you and them in the same little room. So you extra spending by getting the extra housing. And as I said, you only gone a year in America. None of us come here and build life in 1 year. Not that easy. If you're working the regular 9 to 5, easy take time. So I've talked to one of my patients a year ago, and I just kind of asked the question, why is it that people of my country, nation, why aren't we as successful or as wealthy as the white man? And you know what he turned and said to me? He said, everything there is a system. It's like a ladder, and we have to climb the ladder one tread at a time, one step at a time. But what we want to do, we want to jump. We want to jump the ladder. We want to jump up 3, 4, 5, 6 flights. And he said we should remember the law of gravity. He said we jump like that, we are going to just fall back. And that is what happened to us. Because guess what? We jump and we get the big house, we never need it. We go get the bossy pretty car, we never need it yet. Because we not settle out yet. I've worked with a lot of millionaires and I see how they live. They build that life before and then them live later. They able to do it. But before we build it, we start tear it down. And that's where, there is the challenge. And, I'm just trying to encourage us that think about these things before we just jump into it. Kind of work out these things, not just to ourselves, but talk to your mommy. Are you ready to come to America? Do you really want to come to America? Or would you rather just visit? You visit for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even a month, and then you go back a yard. When you uproot them totally from down there and take them away from their support system, because you alone there, you can't do it by yourself. This is America. And Rose, all right, you're there and you have, say, you're a lady, you have a husband, me have a man, me have a wife. Guess what? When you bring those parents in, there's no way your partner want to live under the same roof with them. Those relationships never go too well with you living in with the parents and all that. So too much thing happening at the house. Too much thing go on. Your partner can't walk naked. This can happen, that can happen. Too much people are butting and all of them something there. So it's not good and healthy for a relationship. So guess what you do? Either you have to go find another house where you have to go pay a different rent or something for mommy and daddy or granny over this. Whereas if you had just take it one step at a time, work yourself up, and when you're able to and comfortable, then you think about these things. And as I said, you have to talk to mommy and talk to granny first before you just bring them here. Because I'm telling you, the stress factor is killing them and the loneliness is killing them. Two big things are killing them. We are put them to work, we are stress them out. And that is big. You take them out of their comfort zone, their home country, and you bring them here in this place where them can't even see one person for say neighbor. I'm here, and as long as I've been here, I've lived in gated community, and everybody I call each other neighbor. Hi neighbor, are you neighbor? Why? We don't even have time to get to know each other. That is what happening. And these elderlies, I don't think they're up to it as yet. They're not ready for it. So we need to stop it. Think about these things before. As I said, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers, but I have to share, because I'm in the system, and it's hard when I see these elderlies coming to the hospital because they're stressed out. They will not talk to you guys. I'm just telling you. They're not talking to you, the son or the daughter, because they want to make you happy. They don't want to hurt your feeling. So they won't tell you these things. But when they get to the hospital, they will unload to their caregivers, tell them exactly what is happening in the home. Me stress out. Can't manage the picking them. Picking them too much for me. Me no know. But every time Dorothy gone out, he expect me to do this, me to do that. Sometimes they don't even understand the things I'm wearing. So I give them machine where they never understand how to press one button. How to tell us if you put in this a load and that a load, but you left them with clothes to wash till you come back. Left them to clean up kitchen. Yes, things are easy, some of them, you have your dishwasher. The granny no understand dishwasher. Granny go wash it with him hand. Her hand. And all of these things is basically hurting your parents, your grandparents silently, but yet still in the name of love, we're doing these things that is not really working out for our parents. Yes, a few will make it, but trust me, those that make it will make it because their kids are more settled, their kids are more organized, and they have been going through the process. So they are capable of caring for their mother or their grandparents or whoever they bring over because they have allowed themselves to go through the system and not just jump into doing things, don't even thinking about it. So think about these things. Unique, I don't know if you're still there, but I lost you earlier. So think Uni.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. So I lost you earlier. So if you could
Yes,
just
I
add to anything that I said.
definitely. I hear you mention about the loneliness of grandparents. Yes. Um, there are different countries that these grandparents are migrating to. There are different states. There are different weather to bear in mind. These are factors that were not thought of and anticipated. There are states that grandparents necessarily can't even come out of the house. You know what I mean? Because snow, them can't, they don't know anything about that. They can't walk in it. They really gonna be indoor. So there are a lot of factors to keep in mind. When grandparents in Jamaica used to their daily communication with whoever in the neighborhood, they have friendly neighbor. In a lot of these states, the neighbors are not necessarily as friendly. Even when you have a neighbor and you say I, you're lucky if them say back I to you. Okay, so
That is true.
it is not necessarily a friendly setting for grandparents to adjust to. Another thing I heard you mention about the I expense that we take on sometime to accommodate grandparents. Yes, America rent high. Anywhere you go here, the rent is high. So we find ourselves individual instead of working as a unity. So if you're individual and you and your kids and all of that, it's gonna be stressful on you. And you're going to have to do one or more work, two or more work, in other words, to try to manage and balance, things that need to be done to maintain the roof, to feed the whole family, to close the whole family, and, other bills. So, if you don't have a unity, just like Jamaica set it up, that the community is your unity, or most time you have a lot of family member in that same community, it is much better for grandparents to have that kind of system versus just having one child where she come up with and always out and about making money to maintain. Another thing is that I heard you mention about the responsibility where grandparents have to try to be helping out in the house with daily chores, taking care of the laundry, washing, and a lot of us are not aware that our parents is having slight dementia. And when they come here, we see like certain things, but because not everyone is aware of signs of dementia and Alzheimer's, you don't recognize that your parents have early dementia. Now, with early dementia, your parents sometimes confused, forgetful, and lost. So these are things that need to be considered, need to be observed, and need to be factored in when you are thinking of bringing your parents here. I'm going to go back to the healthcare facility where we have our parents in the hospital or the nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
The loss of dignity is where the first thing, like you mentioned, is the fall risk. Come with the fall risk, each person go incontinent, and even though they are continent, they put diaper on each patient. Not that they need it, but because the low staff ratio to patient in these facility, if the patient ring the bell and you go there and it's not a health crisis and they say they want to go to the bathroom, I am very sorry. You are lucky if you have a good person and not much strenuous work that day to oblige and put your parents to the bathroom. Most time, because of the low ratio, I remember at one point there used to be like 13 patient to one CNA. Come on, you expect 13 patients to be taken care of? Remember, you have to bathe some of them, split bathe. You have to bathe some of them, dress them, do all works. Plus, CNA have to go into the food part at lunchtime, all of that. They don't have the time to bring your parents to the restroom. Now, because they have on the diaper, sometimes that diaper gets so soaked. Your family member end up with bed sore that they didn't go in there with. Bed sore, it starts out a tiny little rash until it get big, and sometimes it can get real deep. When it does get to a point of death, it get deep, and no, your grandparents, your parents end up with infection. So you end up bring your grandparents in there. Maybe she had a hip issue, or she fell, and you bring her in there thinking she's going to spend a 3 to 5 day in there. She might end up spend 30 to 60 days in there, because not only that she's going to be taking care of what she's going there for, but she end up get other things like bed sore, infection, and a lot of other things happen to her that need treating. And guess what? They love that because the healthcare need money. And the more problem that these senior have, the more money is going to be added to service for this care and this care and this care. So, yes, it is not easy. And we all have our parents and we all trying to do the best and thinking that we are giving them the opportunity to come international and, you know, experience what you get the privilege to experience. But sometime after they reach certain age, if they said they don't feel like they want to come out of their home, I think sometime you just have to said that's go with what grandma or grandpa want, because what is best for you as the child is not best for your parents. Remember, your parents is now going back to being a child. So even though you take your parents here, depending on the age, depending on their physical ability and their mental ability, you are actually taking on the responsibility of another child, which in fact you are thinking that they are coming to assist you. But no, you have to really take note, take heed, observe, and have discussion with your parents and see if it's really worth taking them here. Is it worth it to take them out of their comfort, to bring them here to loneliness, to isolation, to somewhere that is going to kill them quicker than if they were home? Think about it. When you go away somewhere and you go visit someone, there is no place like home, right? You can't wait to go back to your own bed, right? That's the same way your parents feel. You take them from their comfort in their homeland that they live for all their life, and you bring them to this place that is like unknown to them, to adapt, to adjust. And it's not easy at their age to adapt and adjust. It's a lot. So I would like everyone to take a moment. If you didn't take your parents here yet, and you are considered taking your parents here, have a conversation with your parents. You also need to reflect and evaluate where you live, what area you live, what state you live. Is it going to be beneficial for your parent? Is it, even if you think it would be benefiting you, if you have children that they can help, you need to bear in mind that your parents' mental state is not what you leave them as sometime. As they get older, their memory lose. They lost their memory, and some of them, like I mentioned, is having early stage of dementia. You have to observe your parents. You have to talk to your parents. If things seems a little off, you have to check into it. But I would say just be mindful of your parents, of your parents' feelings, because overall, their well being is what you are focusing on. Their happiness is what you are trying to improve and enhance on. And if bringing them here is not going to give them that happiness that they have there, you better off leave them there, because they will live longer being there in their own environment where they are happy, they are content, they have their friend, they eating healthy food, they getting fresh air, they drinking good jelly coconut. Listen, not because America working out for you, that no mean it will work out for your parents. So think about it. And back to you, Ian.
You touched some big pointers there. I'm gonna say one of it, the environmental factor and the weather. And as say I'm always gonna refer to Jamaica, my home country. A lot of Jamaican they either live in Fort Lauderdale area and New York, New Jersey. So it's one extreme to the next extreme. It's cool or heat. And I'm telling you, the heat in Florida, trust me, and not like Jamaica. It's a total different heat we have in Florida. When you talk about cool, how you go in at the cool, I am just tell you, I fear the cold. And me think me can manage it. Wear and go get all of the attirement that is necessary. Your parents or your grandparents, them can't handle it. Them don't know if you handle them with that. You can't expect now during the cold season, grandma if you even go look out a door. If you see what going on out there. So you lock down poor grandma, you lock down your mommy, you lock down your daddy, and this is really hurting them deeply, which you don't know. I said they won't talk to you guys. They talk to me when they come into the hospital. All right, they will never share it with you because they don't want to hurt your feeling. You know, but really and truly, you mentioned again that they take them from Jamaica just to be with you alone. Where in Jamaica they have the other daughter, the other son, the other auntie, cousin, brother, everybody around them, and you take them out of that to just you alone. All of a sudden, you realize you can't even be home with them. You can't spend no time with them because you have to just keep running, keep moving. The hustle is real. And you have to go out there to make that money to sustain you and your parents and whatever else you plan on doing. Because remember, we come here with a goal. And most of us come here with a goal, but we don't understand how did that just vanish. We can't reach it. We can't reach it because of things that we're doing. We're doing things without even evaluating it, thinking about it. Haphazardly, we're doing things, and that affect our own finances. Because as I said, it's an extra cost to maintain a home now here. We take out a bigger house or whatever with granny or your mommy in it. I would say it would be better if you were sending home some money back to Jamaica. Put on an extra room for the house. Give grandma AC or your mother AC. Give them a nice couch, a nice TV. All of them so better them more happier there. Give them that comfort within their space, their home, their community. And as you said, them are gonna live longer because they're happier. Up here, it's really all about you taking them from their community and you can put them in a prison. That is just exactly what you're doing to them here. And I tell you, when they come to the hospital setting, that's where it's all like emptied out on us. They just tell us exactly what is going on at home. And you on the other side, you know them not happy because you see, you talk to them and they not even have a conversation with you anymore. Because guess what? They know it's not lasting more than 10, 15 seconds and you have to run again. You, it is really hard, some of these decisions that we make, and I think we really don't think about the decisions before we really jump to it. And it's hurting our parents, it's hurting our grandparents. So that is one area that I say, guys, I may rub or step on some can, may hurt some feelings. But if I don't come and be truthful to you guys, because I've seen it, I live it, you know, just being in the health system. And this is just one area. There's so many other areas, as you can see, that they are affected. But when it comes to the health, their health deteriorates so fast here. You'll never believe it. And I said they'll come to the hospital continent, with meaning them able to pee, know when them want pee and do it all by themselves. But before they get discharged, they are incontinent, meaning them just pee upon themselves. Because guess what? They already been labeled as high fall risk and all of these stuff. Before them try to get up, somebody put them back down. Somebody tell them get back into the bed. And that keep happening till them just, it become a norm that they're like, you know what, it makes sense me try to get up. Just might as well go ahead. They lose their dignity, their pride, and all of those things just amount to more stress. So when you see them coming at the hospital and the blood pressure through the roof, you don't have to ask why and what caused it. It's just the fact that we have uproot them from their comfort and bring them into a foreign land, a place, and now you want them to make it home. It will never be. It's never gonna be home. It'll be home for you, but not home for them. So that's why I say a lot of people, worried about what's happening in the immigration system and afraid for them to send them back home. But guess what? There's a group that is here that would mind them catch them and carry them back home tomorrow morning. Probably they'll raise their hand if you ask a question who wanna go back to Jamaica, who wanna go back to them Caribbean country. Those parents and grandparents will raise in their hand. Trust me, because they've been going through a lot. So, really and truly, Miss Unique, I want to thank you for sharing with us. And guys, we'll be unpacking a lot of things here on this channel. And this is just the beginning of it because, the views that is shared by the personnel or whoever we bring on is not necessarily the views of Together We Rise, building our nation. And we want you to get that. But this is just real life story, things that is really happening out there. So a lot of the what I say now, the invitees that we invite on the program, they may come on just like this. No showing no face or anything, because we are gonna unpack some serious things. You hear Miss Unique was talking about the hospital setting, the nursing home setting, and what goes on in there. You're gonna have people who are gonna come on here and share real deep story, but they wish not to be seen. They want to be behind the scene. If you're out there and you have a story and you feel like you want to share, because these things is happening to so many of us. It happening in our very home, and it's might as well we really see it for what it is. We're really hurting some of our loved ones more than anything else in the name of love. We think our love will love them, so we take them from Jamaica, we take them from Trinidad, Guyana, wherever we bring them from, Caribbean people, and we carry them come and think, say, well, we'll make life better for them. No, we're really hurting them and hurting them real deep, but they will never say to you, somebody else is hearing that story. But I'm saying, just think about these things, as we really discuss this on the Together We Rise Building Our Nation show. You know, think about it before you do it. If you're here in the US and you just get here for a year or two, trust me, you're not ready to take on them whole for expense there. If you send for no family member. Guess what? When you send for your family member, remember, you have to go pay that processing fee there. That is extra money where you did want to put to one side to do something. You know, when you bring them here, you have to create a space for them. Not for you, but for them. So either you will get a house. When you bring them here, your spouse not necessarily want to live with your parents. Yes, fine that you want to take your parents here, but your spouse don't want to live with them. So guess what happens? You have to find one next place for them live. And that is extra spending again, guys. You know, you have to think about extra to feed. You know, in Jamaica, they will be eating normally what they regular eat. Them going to them backyard, them have ackee, them can pick it, them go pick the plant, them gungu, them corn, them sorry. Them have them thing around them and them enjoy doing these things. Them enjoy being able to come out and let the sun just pitch upon them and them enjoy the breeze and as it Miss Unique talk about them coconut water, all of them things them enjoy it. When them come up here, so, I will say we turn them into prisoners. Them can't enjoy that. Them can't even step out the door for your snow, tick out there. You want to come cloak up granny in a some big thick jacket and sweater. Oh, granny, so yeah, go with that. Granny, we are Jamaica, them little tie head on the head, and that's it. So it's unique in the last couple of minutes if you have anything to share.
sometimes the sweater might be the fall factor because it's too heavy.
Oh, so much, so much. So if you have any last, word you want to say, but, just want to say thank you for being here, and unpacking some of the
Yeah.
things that is reality, whether we like it or not.
It is. And we all love our parents, because that's our parents. And we all want to do the best just like they did for us. But at the end of the day is just focus on their happiness and their well-being and their peace of mind. And you get the better outcome if you can give them that wherever works for them. But don't take them out of comfort to bring them into misery. Focus on what make them live a little longer. And that's home.
So there you have it, guys, for this week. We'll pop in from time to time, different invitee will be on the program, and we're just gonna discuss some real reality. It's hard talk, but some of these talk we have to have some conversation. We'll have to have. We not just jump up and just make some rash decision. We need to start think about these things. Think of you yourself, what you want to accomplish, and is it gonna be more challenging accomplishing what you want to accomplish by doing all of these extra things that is not, you're not up to it yet, reach there yet. If you do all of them something, make your parents them stay if they want to stay there in Jamaica. Just give them the things that bring them happiness down there. They're in a home that they're comfortable. They're in a community that they're comfortable. Not uproot them and expect them to come adapt. You yourself can hardly adapt to the system because we know how rough. So don't expect your 60, 65, 70-year-old parents and grandparents just to come up here and adjust to this. No way. You know, go possible. They pretend that they're happy, but deep they're hurting. So guys, see you another time. Any comment you wanna leave, you just leave it on the program. We'll respond. I say that we're gonna step on some can, hurt a few feelings, but the reality is these are conversations that we need to have. Tough ones, but we have to have them, and each one help one, and that's it. Together we rise, building our nation program. It's all about helping each other. Let's help each other to make better decisions. Yes, it works for some people, but the majority it don't work. We can hardly make it with self and expect you to make it with a whole set of family that is unhappy in everything. All right, guys. See you around.
See you.